If you want to see Pallid Scops Owl in India, I think there is no better place than desert coursers in LRK. In winter, you can stay in the resort and see MacQueen's Bustard, Short-eared owl, wild ass, flamingo, pelican, desert fox, peregrine falcon and other raptors with kill. In this video, I have interviewed Mr. Dhanraj Malik, who is the owner of Desert Coursers. Watch till the end to know more about LRK, its wildlife and what is the best time to visit and how to prepare. Dhanraj, why don't you introduce yourself? There's so many things to speak about you. I would let you do that for the audience.
So basically my name is Dhanraj Malik and I am the owner of a eco lodge in the Little Rann of Kutch, which is called Desert Coursers, and we have been operating this place since 1984, basically showing the people the wildlife and the culture of the Little Rann of Kutch. So since almost now 40 years,
Wow.
plus 30 years I run the place, and we've done a lot of work as far as wildlife and culture for the Little Rann is concerned.
So what encouraged you, inspired you to come and do something like that?
So basically my family has been here since almost 700 years, and we have grown up with the Little Rann, and always in my family there has been wildlife and thing. My father used to be a hunter at one time,
Okay.
a shikari, and then of course he became a conservationist. So birding was, very frankly, LRK was never a great birding destination. LRK always was and is for the wild ass, which is what the sanctuary is made for.
And named also.
So not many people came here for birding in the initial stages. It was even difficult to see the wild ass in the initial stages. The animals used to run away from 2 kilometers, 3 kilometers, 4 kilometers, which still happens in non-touristic zones where not so many tourists visit. The wild ass is still. So it was always the main intention of starting Desert Coursers was to show people the wildlife of the Little Rann, and particularly the wild ass.
Okay.
It is only in recent times that the Little Rann has become famous for its raptors and its eagles and the birds and the MacQueen's and the nightjars and all. But earlier it was primarily for the Asiatic wild ass.
So when did this budding, that I'll not call it as craze, but the interest grew in this area, like 2010-ish?
When Facebook came up, we only get birders in LRK who are connected to Facebook.
Okay.
Very rarely do we actually get people who are birders, who are not photographers or who are only purely birders. Very few tourists actually come to LRK who are birders. Most of them are Facebook photographers.
Tell us, how was the bird activity, population density like 20, 30 years? I can't even imagine. If you can give some examples.
It was a very, very different LRK than what LRK is in 2023. I would say 15 years from now, LRK was a completely different thing. There was not so much of salt, which is now really choking LRK with the extensive amount of salt which is being produced, and with so much of tourists and some of them being quite undisciplined tourists. It is really affecting the habitat and the population and the bird thing. Earlier there were no many people. 15 years ago there was almost no other resort than us. There was one which was planning to be set up, and I think it came up about 15 years ago. So you could have 4 or 5 vehicles that were seen in LRK 15 years ago. There was not so much of water in LRK 15 years ago. It is, after all, the run. So it had much more open space, not so much of water. So you could see so much more grassland birds, not water birds. a big population of eagles, harriers, peregrines, of course, and a lot of bustard and a lot of ground-dwelling birds were present. We did have water bodies, but smaller quantities. Of course, the flamingo has always been the prime attraction for LRK because it breeds with us. So we did have, but there was far more bird population than what it is today because the habitat was very different.
I was talking to you about a bustard, and you're talking about some story about Saraskin walking through. So how many bustards people used to see? The MacQueen bustard, maybe if somebody would have come here 10 years back or 15 years back.
If you came here 10, 15 years back, it was very, very, very easy to see anything between, if you went to the bustard area. There are specific, in LRK, you have specific areas where the MacQueen's bustard is, even today. And if you went to those areas, you could easily see anything between 15 to 20 MacQueens. And very easily, so much so that I have even named areas as Hubara Bait or Hubara Point or whatever, because you could see 8-10 birds just grazing in front of you, feeding in front of you, and sometimes they are thing. Now, even to see 2 birds has become extremely difficult.
If somebody wants to come to LRK, to your place, what would be the time that you suggest them to come, and for what species? Like if they want to come for MacQueen, what time they should come?
See, if you consider the 5, like in the Africa has got the 5
big cats, yes.
Yeah, we have 5 animals that I think people would like to see. And of course, the peregrine, the MacQueen, the short-eared owl, the hobie falcon, and the amur. And then, of course, if somebody is really interested, then the merlin. So different birds come at different times. The MacQueen's is one of the first arrivals for us. They come as early as September, October. And then they remain almost till February. So November is a good time when they have all settled, and we have also found the place where they
can
are.
find.
So November is a good time for MacQueen's. October is a very good time for the hobie falcon.
Okay.
So then October end, November is also a good time for the peregrine falcon. Then November, December is a good time for hobie, and also the merlin should start coming by end of December. So different birds come at different time. The short-eared owl comes almost by end of October.
Okay.
So different birds come at different times. So LRK is very good as far as birding is concerned from around the 15th of November up to the 20th of February.
So if somebody missed MacQueen like we did in the November talking in end of December 2023, what could be the next? Can we do something later in the season, or we have to wait till next November?
No, February is a very good time.
February is a very good time.
Because that is again when they are getting ready to leave, and they are seen quite regularly. I mean, to see 2-3 birds is not very rare in the month of February.
Okay. So if they come in, how should they come in to your place? So I believe everybody will come in by some means to Ahmedabad.
Yes.
So and from there
you can either arrange a taxi for them, or they can come by their taxi or bus, whatever is comfortable to them.
So we did come from Bhuj. We took a Volvo service, the bus service to Red Bus we booked. We got down in Malwan, and you guys picked us at like half an hour we reached here. I think that's something also others can also try, because I found it very easy. Malwan, and you can arrange a shuttle pick up from there.
Yeah, Malwan is about 25 kilometers from here.
Say something about your property. How many cottages do people need to worry about? They can come and not, if they want to plan a last minute trip, right? Like red-breasted goose is sighted now. People want to, so do you have enough accommodation? I saw that is a huge property. So how many cottages you have here?
I have 17 cottages and 7 large rooms.
Okay.
So it's very rare that we are completely booked up, because I don't actually book up the whole place at any given time. But at the same time, I would like to say is that we also try and discourage walk-in clients, because our clients are so specific with birding. And a walk-in client, I don't know if he is really into birds and wildlife, and does he really understand the system of desert courses. Because we are not a fancy, upcoming, new resort. We are still an eco lodge, where for us priority is wildlife, silence, no disturbance. We don't allow music. We don't have televisions in our rooms. And I don't know if the people who are just walking in understand all that. So I definitely don't encourage walk-in clients. So the best way to come to us is at least book us a week before you are planning. I understand that there could be, if the red-breasted is being sighted now, and then they could call me 2 or 3 days in advance, or even a day in advance, saying that we would like to come and see the red-breasted.
Do you have a website or contact number that
Yes,
you can?
we have a website called desertcoursers.com, and that gives you all the information.
And they can get the phone numbers from you, and they can contact you.
All the
WhatsApp.
numbers and everything through that.
So anybody is listening, I think they can just go to the site. I will give that link in my blog, and they can just pick it up from there. I think one of the things that is very unique in LRK is that I was told by a lot of owl experts that there are 2 ways to see Pallid Scops Owl. One is you can go search for it, find different birds, spend time in hiding, whether it's a pallid or not, or go to your place and get pallid. Okay, so I was very fortunate to see 5 of them. 3 of them were in motion. Unfortunately, that they flew and came back and sorts of thing, and 2 of them were like whole day asleep from that. So speak about this special owl. 5 owls keep coming back to your place, and how long it is happening? And
I think it's almost 8 years when we first saw 2 owls, and I could not identify them because I had never seen them. But we had some British birders with us, and I showed it to them, and they identified it as the Pallid Scops Owl. So they have been coming to us since about 8 years now. It is now, since last 2 years, they have other places where in LRK or on the periphery of LRK you are seeing Pallid Scops Owl. But till 2020, we were the only ones where the Pallid Scops Owl was a definite sure shot. And even today, I think we are holding the maximum concentration of Pallid Scops Owl for LRK. I don't know any other place where there are 5 or 6 birds. So I really don't know why they are here. Maybe they enjoy the safety, they enjoy the food.
Absolutely.
Because I think we have a lot of lizards with us, which is what they eat. And they are quite comfortable here, and they get easy food. And I think they are the same birds, because they come back almost to the same tree or branch, or in a vicinity of 5 square feet is where they come back. So I think it is the same birds that are coming back to us year after year. And we are very lucky, and we are very fortunate that these birds come to us, and it gives us an opportunity to meet real birders and real wildlife enthusiasts.
No, I think it's a pleasure for me. It was my 32nd owl in India, and I think I saw them both yesterday and today. And they, as you said, exactly, they sat in the same place, looking the same direction. There's a little bit of a branch in front of them, exactly in both the days. And yesterday I woke up at around 2 o'clock. I observed them for an hour. They were very active. Wow. Typically, scops are active in the early and then later on. But 2 o'clock, they were really moving. I saw 4, potentially 3. One might be, I've seen it twice. And they're very active, moving from one branch to another. And it was a great experience for an hour for me. So thank you for that. You told me that there are 6 at this point.
I think so. We have 6.
Okay, I've seen 5, and I remember last time when I was talking to you in this January, like 11 months back, I talked about Pallid, and you video called me in a WhatsApp and showed me the owl, which was like like a unbelievable experience for that.
Thank you, sir.
So great. I hope they continue to get the safety, absolutely. And anybody who is visiting this area, my request to all of them would be that please honor that, so that and a few people can come in and observe the bird. Talk something about the Eurasian also. I think that's also very, I think it's probably much harder. So it comes in October.
Yeah,
Speak a little bit about
Eurasian
Eurasian.
comes in October, and the last Eurasian that was with us last year did not stay that long, but we have had Eurasians in 2020, 2021, which have come to us in October and stayed almost till February. I think the Eurasian, of course, we don't get more than one bird. And I personally feel the Eurasian is much more shy bird than the pallid. The pallid we get in larger quantities, and the pallid, if disturbed once or twice, or even, sometimes even a human being doesn't disturb it because the babblers disturb it, or the bulbuls.
Today, bulbuls actually woke it up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I don't know why the bulbuls need to disturb it, but crows and bulbuls, if they, or babblers, particularly the babblers, disturb it a lot. So even if they get disturbed, they fly away but then come back. The Eurasian doesn't do that. The Eurasian, what little behavior I have noticed is that if disturbed regularly or too many times, it will leave and not come back. So yeah, it's a pleasure to see him, and also I think it is the same bird that keeps coming back to us. So let's see.
So good. I think you did a good birding in your place with red stars.
sir.
Quite a few other birds. It's a great place, and I can say that those who are coming with a family, if your family members are not birders, bring them. They'll have a good time, and there's a lot of other things that they can do, surrounding other than birding. Two last questions, sir. Anybody whom you idolize, that these are your idol, or whom you followed, or anybody who inspired you in the more wildlife perspective?
Well, my father, of course, and then there was a gentleman who's still there, somebody called Mr. Otto Pfister. He's a Swiss gentleman, and in the earlier stages, I had like a mentor person who used to do birding with me to a little extent, was Tej Munkur. I don't know where Tej is now. And also Bikram Garewal I have spent time with him.
Yeah, I have his book as well.
Yes. Yeah. So quite a few birders have helped me in the knowledge that I have gained. But of course, my father has been my biggest mentor. Thank you.
Last question for you, sir, is any message, because we see you too. You're running it for 40 years. You have seen so many birders, good, bad, and somewhere in middle. What would be your guidance, feedback, and from two sense? One is in terms of preparation. When somebody is coming to LRK for wildlife visit, we'll broaden it up. What kind of preparation they should do? And the second part would be that what kind of behavioral guidance you expect them to demonstrate.
As far as preparation goes, they should prepare and they should know the size of LRK. They should know the habitat of LRK. They should prepare themselves for the changes that happen in LRK to a great extent, also weather-wise, but also because of so many people visiting LRK and so much of salt being produced. The bird density changes, the bird habitat changes, so they should be prepared for that. As far as the other question goes, I would request everybody very strongly that please behave like a birder or a wildlifer rather than just a photographer. I know that you need to have many likes on Facebook or thumbs up or whatever they are called. But that shouldn't be the priority, especially photographing birds in LRK, because LRK is a very open area. So the bird sees you far more before than what you see the bird. So you need to really pay very strong attention and be very discreet when you are photographing a bird in LRK. And photograph it for your pleasure, not to get a like or a thumbs up on Facebook.
Thank you, sir. I think it was a great talking to you
sir.
and great experience.
Thank you,
I
sir.
really enjoyed the stay and
sir.
as well as the food variety as well as the travel we had. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.